Alright, YouTube, what is going on, guys? How are you doing, you beautiful people, guys, girls, older people, younger people, everyone in between? What is up? Welcome to another video here in the family room. You guys read the title. We are speaking of meditating or meditation. I believe I titled it, I meditated every day for 4 years straight. Here are the results, and that is exactly the truth. That's exactly what we're speaking of here. So if you guys have seen any of the other videos, I will link them up here, the intermittent fasting one, the no-fap one. This video is going to follow the same linear fashion where we're going to break down this video into 4 main sections or benefits, okay? Things I've noticed or learned while meditating. That is number 1, physical benefits. Number 2, mental benefits. Number 3, emotional benefits. And number 4, spiritual benefits. Okay, guys, so with that said, let's jump into this video. I have my phone because I wrote a list of the things or the benefits. Now, the first thing I wrote down, guys, was, if my phone wants to load, there we go. The first thing, guys, is intro, okay? Just real quick, why I started meditating myself and what meditation is in a nutshell, okay? So, simply put, guys, I started meditating myself. Got the coffee. I started meditating myself exactly that about 4 years ago now in grade 12. I'm not going to go too deep, but I was in a very dark place with a ton of negative thoughts. I personally deal with something called OCD, which is obsessive compulsive disorder, and it was getting to a point where it was, I was seeing a psychologist, and I was close to being on medication. Like it was getting pretty rough. And one day my mom came home and she brought home this book, and the book was called The Mindfulness Workbook for OCD, okay? And that book changed my life, and that was the exact book that introduced me to meditation. So at first, the Mindfulness Workbook, what does that mean? That book was all on mindfulness meditation, and from that point on, I began to do more research, more experience, I delved in deeper with it, and it's just become an integrated part of my lifestyle, okay? So that's how I began meditating. And what is meditating in a nutshell, guys? There are tons of other videos which can give you tutorials on it. Maybe I will. But meditating is simply sitting and being with your thoughts, emotions, or feelings and letting them be for what they are. And then through that, allowing them to pass. Does that make sense? So being who you are, okay? And having these thoughts, these impulses, these ideas, these urges, and instead of judging them or attacking them or acting on them, letting them be, seeing them for what they are, detaching yourself from them, and through that, breathing and letting them pass. It's like looking at clouds, right? You see a beautiful cloud or an ugly cloud, you look at it, you understand you are not the cloud, and through that, the cloud obviously passes. So that's what meditating is. Anyways, you guys can check other videos, or maybe I'll make one, like a tutorial exactly on meditation, but this video is what I've learned through the 4 years. So let's get straight to it, guys, with number 1, physical benefits. Okay, guys, now, whoa, that was a weird noise. I wouldn't say there are too many physical benefits with meditating. It's more so the mental, emotional, spiritual, but nonetheless, there can be physical benefits. And what I wrote down there is sorry, give me one sec, guys. I wrote down less pain and less physical symptoms, okay? So meditating, believe it or not, can actually be used to enhance or alleviate physical pain or symptoms, right? You'd think it'd just be mental or emotional, but no, physical, where let's say you have an aching, right? I'm big into fitness. Maybe you have an aching elbow, or your shoulder hurts, or you notice some pain in your stomach, or a headache, right? This is real stuff. People actually meditate to help alleviate that. And how that may work, even though that may sound silly, is it's the same thing. By feeling these and experiencing these physical symptoms, thoughts, emotions, or feelings, and allowing them to be there, they begin to dissolve, right? I know that may not make sense to some of you guys, but I would implore you or encourage you to try it yourself, and you will know what I'm talking about. So those would be the main physical benefits I've noticed with meditation. Again, if I'm feeling maybe a little sick, a little under the weather, anxious, this, that, maybe my elbow hurts, this hurts, and I almost meditate on that. That in and of itself begins to alleviate, or I then find solutions to help alleviate that, opposed to just dwelling on it and focusing on the negative and complaining, and really all that does is just worsen it, okay? So meditating is doing the opposite. It's focusing on the good, the pros, accepting it. How can we fix this? And that does help with physical benefits, okay? Now let's move on to the deeper stuff, okay? Mental benefits. Now this is really where meditation comes into play. So I wrote tons. Less anxiety, less depression, less bad feelings, because you can feel and accept them. Better neural programming. Meditation is literally brainwashing in a good way. So meditating, guys, like I explained before, through you seeing your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings for what they are and allowing them to be there, and through that not giving them the attention or energy they deserve, and through that they pass, you are literally you are literally brainwashing yourself. Okay, there's something called neural programming or neural reprogramming, which in and of itself is brainwashing. Okay, so you're changing your biochemistry, you're literally changing your neural programming through, instead of constantly having obsessive bad thoughts on, my elbow hurts, the sky is falling, this girl doesn't like me, bada boom, I'm ugly, I'm fat. By you seeing these thoughts as outside of you and accepting them and letting them pass, you are literally rewiring your brain. Okay? Now, if this doesn't make sense to you guys, I would encourage you to study or search up more of meditation or the psychology of meditation, but you have to kind of think of it in this sense, okay? Your brain works in patterns, and if you continuously get a thought and entertain that thought immediately, well, then your brain is going to work as a pattern, okay? So it's going to continue to give you that feedback loop where let's give him another thought because clearly he likes this, right? He's entertaining, he's giving it so much energy, let's give him again. So you get another thought of I'm fat, or another thought of I'm ugly, or another thought of why this? So it's a feedback loop. That's what neural programming is, okay? And through meditating, what you can do is you can cut that circuit and you can begin to slowly build new circuits. So when you get that thought, instead of entertaining that, you let it be. So there's like a glitch in the circuit and you're very slowly building new circuits of I want to be wealthy, abundant, happy, I am confident. Even if I'm not the best now, I will be. And this literally happens. So amazing mental benefits. And if you don't believe me or want to do more research, I would strongly encourage you to do so. Just type in meditating, neural reprogramming, or biochemistry, whatever you want. There's 1,001 things. So yeah, now let's move on to emotional benefits. Now, emotional benefits kind of tie onto mental benefits, as your mentality and your emotional feelings are kind of one and the same thing. But nonetheless, emotional benefits, I said, again, feeling good, doing better emotions that are yours. You're better able to feel true emotions. So in a nutshell, guys, a lot of the emotions we as humans or people experience are dead, old, bagged emotions that aren't necessarily ours, okay? So what I mean by this is a lot of times we feel things right now that maybe we experienced many years ago, and that in and of itself is that neural programming I experienced. It's a feedback loop, okay? What happens is when we experience these old traumas, really traumatic events, and they begin to come up, if we continue to entertain that and tell ourselves the same story on why we deserve or this is happening, well, then it will continue to happen, okay? What meditating does emotionally is it better allows you to decipher, understand, whoa, this emotion I don't believe is mine. Why am I feeling this way? Why am I so afraid of car accidents? Or why am I so afraid of like my building catching on fire? Well, maybe that was because of an emotion or event that necessarily didn't happen to you. Maybe you picked it up through TV, the media, your family, your parents. It was maybe something that happened in childhood. So meditating can better allow you to decipher which emotion is truly yours right now in this present moment, opposed to which emotion is yours that you picked up from an external event. And through that, by you identifying that this emotion is no longer mine, you can cut off that circuit, which goes back to neural programming, and begin to create new neural pathways and better, stronger, truer emotions to you. I should be a damn psychologist. That's actually what I wanted to be when I was growing up, but little did I know I have my YouTube channel, which I kind of am, but not really. Yeah, by the way, guys, I'm not a licensed psychologist, so I'm not saying take my advice over like if you need to see a psychologist or psychiatrist, then I would encourage you to go see them, okay? This is just from my own experience and research, and yeah. Okay, guys, so that was the main thing with emotional benefits. Now let's speak of spiritual benefits. Now, like I stated in the other videos, I don't want you guys to get too attached with what this word means. I'm not necessarily talking of a patriarchal, deity that is going to judge you and, no. When I mean spiritual benefits, I more so mean yourself, myself, your innermost soul, if you would, right? And what I mean is just without ego, without the facade, without the blanket, just who you really are and who I really am, okay? So take that however you want. I'm not saying it has to be necessarily one thing. What I wrote down for spiritual benefits is better self-awareness, better consciousness, understanding of who you are, why you do what you do, better understanding of the next steps, your purpose, calling, and who you are. So meditating, guys, and this is why it is such a common practice in almost every single religion or philosophy you will ever research to date, and that is because, in a nutshell, meditating allows you to move into the void, okay? Now, the void, many different ways to put this, is more so, you can kind of think of it like solitude. Okay, the void is when you are okay being who you are. You're alone. There is nothing. There is, what do they call this? No thought, right? There are many different words depending on the religion or the philosophy, but it's stillness. Okay, and meditating actually encourages you to move into that stillness, that nothingness, that void. And this void scares a lot of people because our minds are constantly used to incessant stimulation and noise, and things have to be going on. But meditating involves you to just for a second give that up, come back to yourself, and be okay moving into this void. Explore yourself, explore the quietness, maybe the darker areas of yourself. So meditation, what that can do, and maybe why I wrote this down with spiritual benefits is, well, the reason I did is because through meditating, you're better able to understand your void, who you really are, what you really like doing, why you're doing what you're doing, okay? And it kind of goes back to the mental and emotional. They're all really one thing, okay? And through understanding that void and maybe your own traumas or your dark areas or your good areas, you're then better able to take the next steps of action to improve your life, okay? And those are the main things. Meditating, me personally, it really helps with when I'm confused on, what are the next steps? What should I do? What type of content should I make? Who am I? How do I want to build my business? How do I want to serve people? How do I want to really be the best version I can be? Through meditating and going into that void, I'm able to find answers deep within me. And now you can call this whatever you want, your subconscious. I'm not here to label labels, okay? But nonetheless, you do get answers, and that can be very spiritual to many people, okay? You can call it whatever you want. It is your subconscious, but it can also be pathways to the universe. You can call it whatever you want, okay? That's not what I'm debating right here, okay? Because I know I can get a lot of comments, and there can be a lot of stuff on that, but spiritual benefits, okay? Finding out who you are, what your calling is, what are the next steps of action, really? And when I'm confused, I like to meditate to better understand those next steps or calls of action, okay? So I'm going to finish it there, guys. Those were the benefits I've noticed. I will finish it on this one note. I do believe every single one of you guys can meditate, and I personally do meditate to this day for all those reasons, but I do so, like I preach on this channel, to be the best creator you possibly can, okay? You guys are all creators in every shape and form, regardless of who you are. We are all creators, okay? Every single one of us. And meditating, I 100% believe, can enhance you or allow you to be the best possible creator you can be, to give the best value you can to the world, okay? So if you guys like this, do give it a thumbs up, and I will put a plug down below. Check out the creator courses, okay, guys? I've made 2 creator courses, an internal and external creator course. They're each about an hour and a half long, and they explain all these tactics to improve yourself as a creator, whether that's meditating, things like no-fap, intermittent fasting, my fitness, my nutrition regime, everything of your mentality, your psychology. We speak of a plethora of things, okay? A ton of things. Together, guys, you get the bundle course. They're about 3 hours long, and you can check it out 100% below. If you guys don't like it, there's a 30-day refund, but I would 100% recommend it if you guys are interested in leveling up as creators. So, first link down below. And with that, guys, I want to thank you all. I really hope this helps. I know this video will help you guys, and I would encourage you all to meditate. So if it did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, guys, share this with a friend, and I will talk to you all in the next video. Thank you, guys. Much love. Till then, peace.